What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a happy 4th of July, and we are here today to go over the crystals. I've seen a bunch of people complaining, and more not complaining but concerned, a little bit concerned on how they're going to be able to afford all of the new stuff. So we're going to call this the RWBY collaboration preparation video. How do you guys get crystals? And I'm going to give you guys all the lovely tips because I know some people are on the up and up, and I feel like more people are not. So let me go through the first thing first is that we're gonna go to spending money. Just kidding, but I do want to bring this out. I will have on the left side the pretty much the breakdowns of daily, weekly, and stuff like that, or what you might end up with a month. But I'm gonna exclude this as far as the calculations. But if you guys are interested, this is a $5 monthly package. I'm not trying to shill. It's the only time I get this. The only time that I get this thing is when I really want something. Like I know something good is coming in the month and I want it. It gives you a decent amount of crystals. I'm not going to do the math here because like I said, this is literally bonus. This is not in the calculation, but this is the smallest amount. I consider this my MMO monthly subscription fee whenever I want to play an MMO, and most of those are like $15. If I'm, Final Fantasy 14 I think is like $15 or something like that. But we're going to talk obviously free to play. I don't want to spend any money. I want to keep all the money in my pocket, and if you guys have been keeping up with me, I am broke. So when you see this thing that says I have 2 days left on it, right? I can't afford to actually repurchase that. 100%, not kidding to you. So I can't afford that. Some of you guys out there can't afford that. Some of you guys are young, don't want to spend any money, or still skeptical, don't want to give Netmarble any money or anything like that. So where are we gonna go? We're gonna go over to the achievements, and we're gonna look at this left side first, because these things are important. Of course they tie into the dailies, but I want you to come here almost every time that you can, because these two things here reset. There used to be 3. If you're OG, you know it's 3. Hashtag it used to be 3 in the description, in the comments. I would appreciate that, because I know some OGs remember it used to be 3. You used to get 30 crystals a day from this spot alone, but then they nerfed it down to 2. So every day you need to fight the boss dungeon and fight in arena 3 times. This thing changes. That's why I'm telling you to change, to check this every day, because just last week, just a couple days ago, it was combine 1 badge and then boom, you would get 10 crystals out of it. And the other one was enhance a rune 3 times. So now it is fighting the boss dungeon and fighting arena. This is going to change. This actually is always in the updates, but I feel most people brush over it. They don't really care. But these change like every week rotation, so this will change. All right, like it says 6 days. So this thing changes every 6 days, and then boom. Now the other thing that's really important here that you guys have to keep in mind are these. Now some people might not know what these are. They might be a little bit unaware of what these are. Every time there is a banner, the characters that are on the banner are actually gonna be in the achievements to skill them up. A lot of people are like, oh, when I summon for the new character and I level them up, I'll get bonuses for it. But even these banners, that's why I hate when people, not that I hate when, but people are like, oh, these bait banners. These aren't bait banners. One, some people don't have the awakening. Some people are new to the game, or some people just weren't lucky enough to get some of these characters. Depending on, these are the awakened characters like outside of Tarkus, and then this is the same thing, Esna, Ashley, Edwin, and then they threw in Haspel as well. These are like, these banners have some type of purpose to them. Usually there's some type of theme to them, and that's not really what we're concerned about, obviously. But when they do banners like this, every character, Ruby, Electra, Tarkus, Damien, Esna, Haspel, Edwin, and Ashley. We're gonna go back to the achievements and you'll see that they're all here too. Haspel, Esna, Ashley, Electra, Tarkus, Ruby, Damien, and I already did Edwin's because I had some fodder, and that's my level 1 Ashley. This is free crystals, guys. This is exactly why I tell people, if you get dupes, save them. This is why if you guys have paid attention to my summon videos, whenever I do a summon video, I constantly always have to come back here and organize some stuff. And this is the reason why, because I know eventually here for David, I can get 2, this is 20 crystals if I wait long enough. This is 20 crystals if I wait long enough. We know that he's on there, right? So boom. Now I'm gonna put that in there. And then when I'm doing my Evomon stuff and all that good stuff, I'm just gonna be focusing on this. There's Damien Grove, 10 crystals. So that is a really good way to do that. So when you guys are, even if you're summoning for dupes, just hold on to them. Well, if you're summoning for dupes right now, then you're obviously going to use it because boom, you're going to get these Electra, all this other stuff, right? Just hold on to any other ones that you get while you're summoning until they become on a banner, and then use them for crystals. It's a easy way to give yourself additional crystals. But even that I will exclude. I will exclude this from the total, because who knows if you have these characters, right? No one knows if you have this character. So we will be taking this 20 here though. So we will be taking this 20 and we'll be adding that into it. Next up is going to be the daily, all this shebang bang, and then you're gonna get 10 crystals out of it. Enter the arena once, 20 stamina use, send PAL points to the friends, use a helper, spin the roulette, Evo dungeon 3 times, enhanced dungeon 1 time. Keep in mind, if you are a newer player, yours are different than mine. When you hit a certain rank, it changes and it switches over, because there's certain stuff that you have to do as a newer player that I definitely don't have to do as an older player. And then, okay, that's 10. So we're at 30 crystals already, right? Okay, we're in the building. And then we have, of course, the weekly, which you have to keep in mind. Essence dungeon, arena 20 times, the conquest board, and then we have 1,000 stamina, and then that will net you another 10. That's for the weekly though, so we add that into the weekly, how much we're gonna get a week. And then of course the monthly, enter the arena 100 times, clear 30 advent dungeons, and use 4,000 stamina. This one takes a while obviously, but 50. So if you would think, this is actually something you could easily do within a week. It's a monthly, but you could do it definitely in a week. And I'm assuming if it's a new month, you guys probably like how you see how low my arena is. If you need to, when the collaboration comes out, just go through your arena runs. Just even if you lose, it doesn't matter. If you win, it's good, because we're gonna go through arena and how arena helps you out every week, obviously. And if you win, it's good. If you lose, whatever. At least you get your entries in, and then you'll get this 50 crystal, which is obviously gonna give you a lot. So boom, there goes the monthly. All this glorious math, and that's just within the achievements. Next up, the boss dungeon. The good thing about the boss dungeon is something that you do every day. As you can see, it doesn't really matter where you rank. Like, oh, I got rank 3,000. It doesn't really matter. At the end, it ranks you in a specific spot where you're gonna be at, depending on how good you did throughout the entirety of the week. So every day you have to do the boss dungeon, allowing you to get these rewards. I think I usually get like 85 or something like that, or if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, the better you do, the better rewards. So imagine people getting 100 crystals a week for free, 130, 150, 200, 250, 300, 400, 500. So this guy, the people that are up here are just swimming. So I think if I can remember correctly, I'll use this as a weekly. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do 60. That's about what I usually get. I get 60 crystals, so I'll just use 60 as my weekly calculation. As you can see in the dailies, you don't get anything for it. That's why some people don't care. They're like, I don't feel like doing it, but it does add up weekly for crystals. So yeah. Of course, I have to bring in the event. No, sorry, not the event. The 28-day check-in. You guys are obviously getting crystals every day that you check into the game, and as you can see here, it's a little blotted out here, but on day 2 you get 50, day 11 you get 50, and day 15 you get another 50, and then 27 you get another 50. Now these are within a week, so I'll add that into the weekly, obviously, so we can kind of like get a gist of each week, because there's a 50 pretty much in each week, so that's pretty easy to just add an additional 50. So a lot more, just as long as you're just logging in. This is the laziest one you can get. And here's the most aggressive one that you can get. The arena, depending on where you land in arena, you will be getting something called the season reward. Every week is a season. Depending on where you are, your points that will lead you into how many you get. So I got 180. This is a little bit different depending on if you're newer. I would not care too much about this, but as you can see, it does benefit for you to climb the ranks to get to where you are. I can easily, if I wasn't a lazy sucker, I could definitely get this. I think this is where most people should want to be. Obviously 200 a week would get you by the end of the month 4 pulls. So like, this is really important to put in. So I'm gonna put in my calculation as 200 a week. I can easily get that myself, and if you're struggling to get that, obviously you guys gotta keep playing the game. So do your calculation. I'm showing you guys mine. This is my calculation, so you also have to keep that in mind, because another thing that you guys are gonna get that I probably won't are gonna be these. So if you're newer, definitely strive. Look at all these free crystals that you're gonna get right now for the collaboration, and these are one-time things that happen. So keep that in mind. So if I really wanted to hustle and bustle, I would try to get to 8,000 and really get some free crystals just for clearing it out the first time. Daily missions don't give you anything, but they do give you the honor, and then the honor is used for the stuff in the shop, and that's where everyone, if you didn't know, this is where you get the awakening each week. So you should be doing arena as much as possible, because you definitely want the awakening essences for the boo on the left side, because I'm definitely going to start playing my arena. If you guys want an arena video from me, best believe I can do that for you guys. I've been thinking about making one anyway, so I don't even know why I asked you. I'm gonna do it anyway, but so yeah, so let's do the lovely math, shall we? So for the daily, you're gonna get 30 crystals a day. That's gonna be these two things plus the one-time daily here. So in 7 days, just from daily crystals, you'll have 210. So just from doing daily crystals, you will have 210 crystals. That is a summon. So if you are playing every day for a week, just from the dailies, just making sure that you're doing your events, these are always doable. There used to be a time where I think they used to put guild stuff here. Sometimes it is guild dungeon and it's like, damn, I'm not in a guild. But every day you do that, and then boom, you will have at least one summon by the end of a 7-day period. So next, let's go weekly. So boom, we have this. We have the weekly 50 crystals for logging in. And then we also have this. Again, you're gonna have to skew this towards what you're gonna be getting. And like I said, I usually end up with like 60, maybe 70. I'm just gonna say 60, be fair. I usually see 60 because I don't really try my best to do boss dungeon. I just kind of let it auto. So I usually end up at 60. I almost forgot about the weekly. The weekly of arena. So instead of 120 for a weekly, it's actually going to be, I'll put for me 180. To be fair, I could get up to 200, but I usually get 180. I'll be honest with you guys. So that actually brings up the weekly to 300. I forgot about the weekly. You guys have no idea how much editing I'm about to do because I did a whole spiel and I was completely wrong. So daily is 210, weekly is actually 300 because it's like I showed, it's all these things and then you end up at 120, and then the arena is actually whatever your thing is. Your thing is not going to be high as mine. So 300 is going to be for me. I could get up to 200. I can also fall down, but I'm not going to let that happen. So yeah, so I'll be at 300. So boom. So if I add in the daily, playing, doing everything correctly for a week, which is 210, then the weekly, which is 300, I'm sitting at 510 crystals. Pretty good, right? So then we go and calculate the monthly, and the monthly is pretty much only 50. It's the only thing that pretty much at the end of the month, obviously, like I said, you guys are gonna get this anyway earlier. It's just 50. It's the only thing that comes out for a monthly thing. So at that point, let's just add 50 in after we do the multiplication of the weekly of 510 times 4, because if you think about it, times 4, there's usually 4 weeks in a month, just saying. So that's gonna bring us up to, at least me, 2,040. Add the 50 in for the love of the game, and then I'm at 2090, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are in the same realm of where I am, where you can at least, everything else I think is pretty, except the guild, sorry, not the guild, the boss dungeon, and where you rank out in arena is very important, right? So those are the only two things that will slightly gild it to, you might get more, you might get a little bit less, but I think most people are gonna see that I can full pull in a month. And this is, again, excluding any extracurricular stuff. This has nothing to do. That's why I mentioned it first. I wanted to mention it first as this, just so you guys have an idea that yes, you can get this, but you technically don't need it. This is me saying I want to do way more pulling, way more summoning than I really need to. That's what that says. That's what it says. That's when you see this thing and anything like that. But just doing that. And remember, we excluded all of this. This doesn't even count towards my calculation. So saving dupes and using them at the right time is going to net you crystals. Completely not in this calculation at all. Also not in this calculation, events. Most of the time when they do things, remember this event period ends in 6 days, which is probably a telltale that their collaboration's coming next week. So just keep that in mind, that most likely they're going to give us another update celebration. It could mean that the collaboration is coming at that time, and it could just mean that they're going to do it and then the week after following. That's really what I'm hoping for. But still, you're still going to have about 2,000 crystals. And also, there's going to be some type of bonus crystals that they're going to give out, guys. They usually do this. It's not like they don't know that people are going to feel like it benefits them. It makes them look better. They give you crystals, and then you run out, and then you want to buy more. It's the classic bait, you know, bait. It's you can say it's a bait, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good tactic. You give people some, and they're gonna want more. And it makes you look like the good guy. And I mean, it's not like they're being bad. It's just good. Knights Chronicles has been on a roll so far, and that's why I wanted to kind of nip in the butt a lot of people kind of throwing the shade at the company as far as like, oh, there's too many. I saw that, man. I saw that. Someone said there's too many characters coming out, too much awakenings, too much content coming to the game. Slow down. It's like, dude, there will always be dead times in these games. When the company has stuff and it's done and they need to push it out, or not need to, but they want to push it out, let them push it out. Don't feel overwhelmed. Like, who are you catching up with? Like, it's just the game. If a game has stuff, you want it to keep pushing stuff out, because when the game has nothing, because they feel that, oh, we don't want to overwhelm you guys, then guess what? Then people get bored, and and then people are storing up and stocking up stuff, and then something comes out and they finish it within a couple days. Same thing with the crystals. Yes, for collaborations, I know 100% that's a different story. I'm not saying that one collaboration ends, they revealed another one. They didn't say when it was coming out. Keep that in mind. So it's very likely that's also why it might not come out next week. It might be the week following. But just that's what they did. They're just trying to let you guys know that there's so much more coming to this game. Keep supporting the game. Keep playing. We are gonna keep improving, and they have. It's been a year, and I'm happy to say that I've stayed on, and I'm happy that you guys have stayed on, and I'm happy you guys are sharing the videos, and I'm happy you guys are watching the videos, and I'm also happy if this helps out at least a few people to start really playing the game, and at least doing your dailies. Like I said, sometimes I don't play the entire game. I don't do all my advents like you're supposed to. You're supposed to do all your advents. You're supposed to do so much stuff. But I know one thing I do. I make sure I get every ounce of crystals every single day possible. And that's all I gotta say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And remember, every day at the casino is your lucky day. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.